Hey, everybody. Today's episode of the podcast is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. Usually, we've got four guys. We sit down. We talk about the gaming news of the week. This week, we've got no gaming news. Not because no gaming news happened, but because I was at PAX this weekend, and that meant that I couldn't sit down with the guys and record. Now, I did have a plan. I was going to sit down with Carrie, who was also at PAX, but at the last minute, he had a work thing come up, and so he was able to go to PAX for one day, and then he immediately had to turn around and jet on out of there to deal with a work thing. So I ended up sitting down with Bob Wolf instead. If you guys don't know who Bob is, he's been on the podcast, I think 3 times at this point. He's a really, really awesome guy. He's got a fantastic YouTube channel where he talks about all kinds of gaming stuff. He also has the Wolf Den podcast, so make sure that you check out all of his stuff. It'll all be linked down below. But Bob and I sat down on Saturday, and we talked about all of the games that we really, really liked that we saw. That's what's going to be in this episode of the show, and because we had a very fun conversation about the games that we played at PAX. So, without any further ado, here's that conversation, and I will see you guys at the end. What was your favorite thing so far that you saw at PAX East this year?
I've been telling everybody about this game, Love Eternal. It's like Celeste, but it's got like the upside down mechanic from VVV.
Oh, okay.
You know VVV?
Yeah.
And it's like one of like the original indie games. And then there's like some crazy horror elements that are like thrown in. It's like a really weird, it's a really cool art style, and it's got a really weird, bizarre, like creepy story. Okay. And they told me the game was only 4 hours.
You know, I have been asking for shorter games for 2 reasons. I'm old. I have a lot of shit to do. And number 3, I have no attention span. So a 4-hour game sounds amazing.
Yeah. And it's hard like Celeste is, or like Super Meat Boy. Mm-hmm. But the narrative elements make you want to see what's going to happen next, so you want to get through the parts. So
when you talk about Celeste and Super Meat Boy, my favorite thing about that is that when you die, you are back into it instantaneously.
They mentioned that while they were walking me through the game, that was something they really wanted. So that, each like little area is a screen, and you have to make it through the screen. Mm-hmm. So the whole like platforming puzzle is within the screen. And yeah, if you die, you go right back to the start of the screen.
Oh, okay.
But, so it's a little different where in Super Meat Boy and in Celeste, when you die, you just go right back to the start. In this game, that happens, but there are checkpoints, and you have to activate the checkpoint. So if you forget to activate the there's a lot of checkpoints, but if you forget to activate it, you go back to the previous screen or the last checkpoint that you activated. So I kind of wish it just, when you walked over the checkpoint, it just activated, but you have to like press a button on it. And sometimes you might forget to do that.
That reminds me of Shovel Knight, where you had to smash the checkpoints if you wanted to use them.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, right. You had to smash them if you didn't want to use them.
Yeah, you would get like health or something if you smashed it. But then it would get rid of the checkpoint.
Yeah.
I was just playing with Hannah like a few weeks ago, and she's never played it before, and she started smashing it. I was like, don't smash it. We need that.
I almost think like the idea that the checkpoints being something you have to activate on a really short game that's 4 hours long, that might be really good for like speed runs or whatever, where you're like, I'm not going to activate any checkpoints, and I got to get all the way through it in one shot.
Yeah, but what if it activated automatically? It wouldn't matter.
I suppose it wouldn't matter.
There's
but then
some games like in Mario, in Mario Maker, they have checkpoints, and when you run through a checkpoint,
you get big.
There's you do get bigger. There's a couple of seconds where you get bigger, and it freezes the gameplay. So when you're playing Mario Maker and you're trying to speed run Mario Maker, excuse me. When you hit the checkpoint, he goes boop, 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 and it freezes the gameplay. So it stops you dead in your tracks. So you actually, when you're speedrunning it, you want to avoid the checkpoints.
Oh, I did not know that.
So you actually get punished a little bit when you're speedrunning like Mario Maker. I don't think the game clock continues. I think the game clock pauses. But that would be bad for a game like this, for a game like Love Eternal.
Right.
But if it just made it so that you breeze through it and it activates on its own and doesn't interfere, then that would be fine. I don't know. There must be a reason why you have to press the button.
Well, I can't think of a reason, like, from my perspective. I just think of maybe it's for achievements or something like that, so people could say, look at me, I did it in one shot.
Or maybe it could screw up your progress in a weird way. Like maybe you want to start a little earlier. I don't know. I only played like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He did say I was one of the only people who beat the demo.
Oh, well, look at you.
He said, I think you're the only journalist that beat the demo. I was like, first of all, thank you for calling me a journalist. Second of all, I love hearing that.
You do?
No, I love hearing that I'm better
that
at
you're
video
the only
games.
one. Okay.
I did play a game today, Constance. I did not beat the demo.
No?
No.
What's that game like?
That game is basically Hollow Knight. It's like exactly Hollow Knight, but there's a weird Splatoon type mechanic where like you do like a dodge, like I think right bumper is to dodge roll, but the dodge roll is you turn into ink and like go past the bad guy. That was really good. That demo is available on Steam, so I'm gonna download it on here and try to beat it maybe on the train tomorrow.
Oh, awesome! Very cool.
A lot of the stuff I saw just has free demos on Steam.
Yeah, and they were like, they kept handing me the cards. I was like, you guys wasted so much money on these cards. Yeah. Like everybody could just find it, man.
Yeah, they're like, scan the QR code. I was like, or I could just type the name of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The only game that's at this convention that I played that does not have a demo is Love Eternal, which was my favorite game the whole time. So.
Okay. Do you know when that's coming, or is
just
it
later in the year?
That's later in the year.
They said, yeah.
Okay.
I think they said there might be a demo or something eventually, but not right now.
Okay. Well, Love Eternal. I'm definitely going to check that out.
What about you? You said yesterday you were disappointed there weren't any games that you liked, and today there were.
So, okay, this is my second PAX.
Okay.
The first one, I tore my meniscus 5 minutes after arriving, so I didn't really get to experience it. This time I got to experience PAX, but my wife and I noticed something today. We were walking through and like we found this like carpeted area. And we were like, was this here yesterday? So as somebody who's come to PAX a few times, do they change things out when we're after 6 o'clock when we leave? Because we found new areas that were like, this place was not there yesterday. I feel like
maybe I don't know exactly.
Okay.
I mean, probably. I mean, they change things day to day if there's like an issue, but maybe somebody threw up on the carpet.
Oh, maybe it was like this nice soft carpet today, and yesterday I don't remember that, and I was in that same area.
Maybe it was. Is it a PAX thing or was it a booth thing? Maybe a booth like only got the shipment in for the carpet now.
Maybe I don't know. But I played a game today, and you're right. I didn't find very much yesterday, but I was also a little distracted, and I had to write it down because I couldn't remember I can't remember anything because I'm an old man. But the one that jumped out to me today was Motion Wreck. Did you check that one out?
No, I've never heard of that.
Okay, so it looks very much like VVVV. It's like black and white almost, and you're like this little tiny pixel guy, and you're running along. You can jump, and then you
love hearing that.
Yeah, I know. This is right up your alley. But then you get like a recorder, like that you can use. You hold the left trigger. You hold the left trigger to record your moves. So you're like, okay, I'm going to run across this space, holding the left trigger. It records that. You let go, and then coming out of your character is like a little dotted line that shows the move that you just did, right? So then you come to a place where, I couldn't pass this by just jumping, but you have recorded that move, so the right trigger then plays that move. And so you can get across the big gap by, there's a gap in front of me. I'm going to go over here where I can run and record. Then I go up to the gap, hit play, my character goes across without falling into the pit.
Okay. You're going to have to text me the name of this game.
I will. Did I say it?
You said it, but
forgotten it.
I'm gonna not remember it.
Motion record or motion rec.
I don't have my phone, so you got. Yeah, I'm recording it.
Yeah, he is recording it right there on the wide shot, the artsy wide shot. Yeah.
Yes. Well, hopefully we can actually see what it looks like.
It might be awful. Cut off. But motion rec, that was my favorite thing that I saw there because, like, I mean, I only played it for I'm gonna say 8 minutes or so, and then what you do is like you get like these little things like ladders and stuff, and so the levels are designed in such a way where I know that I have to go up and then over top of some spikes. There's no way for me to jump up. And even if I did, I would land on spikes at the end. So I have to find another place in the room that I'm in where I can do the same exact motion to record it and then come over and hit play so it will move. It's really, really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I had a blast with that one.
It's like a platforming puzzle.
Exactly.
I like that stuff, yeah.
Well, what else did you get a chance to check out?
Well, yesterday I told you about Demon Tides. That's another one I've been telling people about. And you said you didn't like the art style.
The art style didn't jump out at me, but the gameplay was pretty cool. Like, I have to admit,
there's a lot of mechanics.
There are a lot of mechanics, and I skipped the tutorial because I was like, I just want to play the thing.
Yeah, that is gonna screw you.
Yeah, and because I watched somebody else's playing, and the tutorial was just like talk, and I was like, I just want to get to the action.
Yeah, I was mashing the talking a lot. A lot of these games, they try to shove a narrative down your throat, and it's like, I just want to play the platforming.
I mean, that's fine to have a narrative in your game, but to have it in the demo at PAX when people are only there for a short time, like all I'm thinking in the back of my mind is like I'm sitting here watching this cutscene and somebody's sitting behind me waiting for this bald weirdo to move on with his life. And you know,
I played the Pac-Man Labyrinth one. I played it for like a very short amount of time. But what I appreciated about that demo was in the top right corner, it had all of the controls.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
So if you forget what one of the buttons do, you just look over there and it just tells you. And there was no tutorial. It just threw you into the game. So you don't need the tutorial because it tells you everything. But yeah, Demon Tides, I liked it because you have the same mechanics as Mario 64 and Sonic Adventure. So you have like you can grind rails. You can do like the homing attack. Well, not like a homing attack, but it's like a dash attack that's similar to what Sonic does. But you also have the triple jump for Mario 64. You have the sideways jump for Mario 64. So it has the best of both worlds in terms of platforming. But then you have you can turn into a snake and you can go really fast when you're a snake. There's all these like weird mechanics that they throw on top of it that complicate things a lot. But I feel like if you're playing it at home, you'll probably learn the mechanics a little more slowly, and then you'll be able to piece everything together. But like in a demo environment, I forgot what I was doing like a lot. Like I had to call the guy had to come over and be like, "Oh, if you turn into a snake here, you'll go faster or something." And I'm like, I forgot what button that was.
Yeah,
because every single button on the controller did something.
That reminds me of Monster Boy. I don't know if have you played Monster Boy? I can't remember the name of the subtitle, but you're like this kid who gets cursed and you turn into different animals. Like there's a lion, there's a snake, there's all these different things, and it's like a Metroidvania, and each of the animals that you turn into has different powers that you can use to traverse the environment or solve some puzzle. And it sounds like that for Demon Tides, right?
Yeah.
So I would think like Demon Tides, I would assume that you would start out and maybe you can only snake stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work. Because so I played the tutorial there, and they kind of threw everything at you at once. And then the game opens up into like an open world style area. And the open world is like Mario Bowser's Fury.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where you're like, it's a lot of open water, and you go to different like areas that have their own little condensed platforming sections. But yeah, it kind of just gives you the tutorial and then throws you into the whole thing, and with all of the mechanics. So I don't know if that's what the experience is going to be like at home when you get the game finally. But I think that demo is available on Steam, so you can just play it.
Oh, okay.
I think. Dan, that's what's great about this, is that everything, and I mean, everybody watches you as a Steam Deck guy, so they can just download the games that you're playing and play it at home instead of having to go to Boston and be in the rain.
All right, let me look at my list of games we got. You told me about this game at dinner last night, Tanuki. Ponds Summer.
Yes.
So I checked it out today.
Okay.
Did you talk? I talked to, it was Liam, right? Yeah, I talked to Liam. No, I didn't talk to Liam. He wasn't there.
Okay.
I talked to...
He's avoiding you.
Probably. No, I talked to Sean, who he just happened to be standing behind me, and I turned around and he was there. But I was really impressed. I never played Tony Hawk. I played a lot of SSX.
Liam, the main developer of Tanuki Pond Summer, a friend of ours, he made Curse to Golf,
which I love,
which went super mega viral. Like 3 years ago?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is his new game, Tanuki Pond Summer, which is absolutely nothing like Curse to Golf.
No, nothing. This is 3-dimensional, not 2D. You play as a Tanuki, a raccoon, sitting on a bicycle.
Offensive.
Is it?
I learned that is they're actually dogs.
What?
They're like, yeah, they have the genius of a dog and not a raccoon.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Japanese people will get all mad at you if you...
I want to apologize to all of the Tanuki fans out there. I did not mean any offense.
Liam told me that while I was interviewing him before for the game. He said they're actually dogs, they're not raccoons.
Well,
I think he got in trouble, and that's why
he told sense. Me that. Yeah. So that game is really cool. My favorite part of it was not the bike riding part, although that's pretty cool. My favorite part was Tetrising the packages into my satchel before I went anywhere.
Yeah, and that's not even like one. So the game is like a Dave Mirra BMX or Tony Hawk style game where you do tricks on a BMX bike.
Yeah.
But you're a Tanuki that is mailing stuff to people. So you're going from the post office to a person's house to mail a package. And on the way there, you're doing the BMXing. But when you get there, the mission starts and you do like...
you fight a guy.
Yeah, like the first one is the sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
That's a little mini game.
Yeah.
Every mission is a mini game that has its own game mechanics.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know how far you got.
I didn't get very far because it was pretty, like I said, we didn't go straight to the convention this morning, so we didn't have much time there today. Yeah. So I was going pretty quick.
So the first one is you sumo wrestle a guy.
Yeah.
And it's got some like some quick time event style like mechanics or whatever.
Right.
But the next one you do is you go to a yakitori restaurant and you got to go find the employees. So you go run around, you get them, and then you come back, and they don't want to come to work again. I'm spoiling the game. They don't want to come to work again, so now you have to work at the yakitori place. So now there's this little mini game where you have these skewers and you're shoveling them through like meat and stuff. So it seems like every mission is going to be its own condensed game, and there's 20 of them. And the BMXing is between all of these little mini games.
It's
so like, the Tetrising, that's not even one of the 20 missions. That's just what you do to get the packages, like right. in your bike.
Although I will say I did get confused because like I was Tetrising the stuff and I was like, I can't fit everything. Mm-hmm. And I assumed I was supposed to be able to fit everything. So I spent way too much time trying to get everything into my packet, into my bag, and I couldn't. Eventually I gave up. And I was like, well, there was like this one.
I filled the space completely.
Yeah, I filled the space completely. And I was like, oh, I still got 2 little boxes left. Maybe I can rearrange things to get it to fit. And I couldn't. And then there was.
Did you didn't have any? You had spaces left in the. Because I didn't. I was completely full. So I was like, I can't put anything else in here. I'm leaving.
Right. No, mine was completely full. And I assumed I had just screwed up and had not put things in the right way. Like maybe if I had rotated this piece.
Well, would they just come together?
Well, I was just figuring maybe you've seen that math thing where they remove the box and then suddenly it's a triangle with less things.
The chocolate bar.
Yeah. So I thought maybe it was one of those things. So I kept fighting with it. And then eventually I was like, well, okay, I'm just going to leave. So I hit the button and I leave. But there was one space empty. And then the guy is like, yo, get back here. You didn't take all the stuff. So then I had to go back and do it again. And it convinced me that I was right the first time that I had to fit them all in. So I wasted a lot of time.
You spent a lot of time on that one little mini.
I did. But that game was really cool. I liked it a lot. I'm looking for, did Liam say when that's coming out?
Actually, he didn't say at all.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he doesn't know. That's
Fair
what he said.
enough. Yeah.
It is confirmed Game Pass though.
Yeah.
We're allowed to say that it's confirmed. I don't like hanging out with developers because you don't know what you could say.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
You don't know what's allowed. But no, it's confirmed Game Pass day one on Game Pass, so you can play it on there, or you can not, and you can just play it on Steam.
Yeah.
There is no demo though, unfortunately. There's the PAX East demo, but it's not a public demo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's going to be a public demo, to be honest.
That's fair.
Or I think he said there might be one. I don't know.
If there is, try it. It's fun. Yeah. You'll have fun.
I played this game today called Airframe, which I think that's the whole name of the game. It is a retro-styled 3D racing game. You're on a like hover bike type thing, and there are there's elements of like road rash where you want to try to kill all the people that are racing with you. And then when you get to the end of the race, you go into like a battle arena and you fight people in the arena.
That sounds cool.
And then you start the next race. So like you're racing, you go into an arena, and then you go to the next race. So the whole game looks like an N64 game. It's like really cool styled. So the idea is really cool. And you have weapons and you can like shoot people and you can kick them and stuff. The idea is really cool. My problem with it was so fast paced, and there was a lot of stuff in the world, like the you're racing on streets with cars on it.
Oh, okay.
And you're constantly crashing into stuff. And the hover bike mechanics are like wave race where you're floating around.
Oh.
So like you're going super fast and then you like hit a turn, but you're floating. So it's like a little delayed. And if you do get stuck like in an area, because there's so much crap in the world, it could be really hard to get back on the track. And it's a city. So like you could just go the wrong way and like get stuck. And the controls feel like an N64 game too. So like you're kind of the like shooting people and kicking them and stuff is like a little, I feel like jank on purpose. So I wasn't like huge into it, but I like the idea. But I would like to play it a little more and maybe go through like a tutorial because I didn't really get, I feel like I missed some stuff, but the idea is cool.
Yeah, that does sound cool. It makes me kind of wish that Road Rash would come back. I loved that game when I was a kid. I played it recently, like on one of my little retro guys.
My little doodads and
one of the little guys, yeah. And wow, I was terrible. I remember playing that for hours when I was a kid and just like my brothers and I would just freaking love that game.
Yeah.
I was terrible at it now.
Some games I remember fondly of I'll pick up and I'll be like, oh, this is just bad.
No,
This game just is not good. I was just 9 and had nothing else to play.
What's your thoughts on Road Rash then? I
don't think I played it that much.
Oh, no?
Yeah, I don't think I have enough. I didn't play a lot of racing games.
Gotcha.
I played like Sonic Dash, I think it was called. The Game
that.
Gear Sonic car racing game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I always just called that poor man's Mario Kart.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I never played that one.
That's a bad game.
That's a bad game.
That is a bad game.
That's fair. All right, let me see what other games. Okay. You know what? One that we both got to see, we didn't get to play, but we got to see, Elden Ring Nightreign.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to play it.
Did they give you a card at the end?
They gave me
this thing, and I think this might have a code on it.
Oh, I think that's to stick to the bottom of your badge.
Oh, that's lame. Oh, I thought this little thing was going to have like a code on the back to like do the beta or something. That sucks.
Yeah.
This was, all right. So I feel bad saying this because if I got to play the game, I wouldn't. I would be nicer about it, but this was the stupidest demo that I've ever experienced.
So frustrated. You know what was the most impressive thing about that demo? Whatever projector they were using.
The lighting effects were sick, and the projector was cool. It was like HDR. It was
like the
super
color
sick.
Was just like exploding off the screen.
The screen was amazing, and they had like these macro lights that changed whenever something happened on the screen. Mm-hmm. It was like a theater like situation. It was really cool.
Yeah, so we were sitting in like a big bubble.
So you wait on. So did you have a media appointment or did you wait on?
I had a media appointment.
Okay, good. There was a big line that you wait on, and then they'll they'll pack like 70 people into a little bubble.
That sounds.
And then they will pick one guy from the 70 people, and that one guy gets to play.
Yeah.
And we both had appointments, so we just walked in. I thought we were going to be the one guy that gets to play. Or
I just thought it was going to be full of people playing.
Yeah.
Like because you couldn't see in.
I talked to them, and they told me. Okay, there were 3 people that get to play. One of them works at Bandai.
Right.
Then they told me it was an Elden Ring influencer. And then there was the guy from the audience.
Uh-huh.
So when I went in, it's the way he talked to me made me think that I was the Elden Ring influencer. I don't know why I thought that. Afterwards, I was like, why did I think that I was the guy? I was nervous because I've never played Elden Ring before. So I thought the whole time, I was like, shit, I was like 3 o'clock. I got to go in front of 70 people and play a game I've never played before. And they're all going to think I'm fucking terrible. And then I got in and I sat down, and then they picked a guy from the audience. And I was like, thank God I don't have to play the game, but also, why don't I get to play the game?
Right, yeah. Well, instead of just shitting all over this game
setup,
the setup that they had.
The game looks awesome. It
really does.
I didn't play the Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of the Souls game. I played a couple, but I didn't really like them that much. This looks way better. Like way more up my alley, I should say. Yeah. I don't know if everybody's going to think it's better, but the mechanics look way different too. Like you're faster. There's a lot more traversal elements. Mm-hmm. Like you can climb shit. I don't know if you can climb shit in Elden Ring, but like
you cannot.
It seems like it's built for that now.
Yeah.
I already said it's faster. Like you literally run faster. The running is faster. It also, I think there's a grappling hook. We should probably say though that it is a battle royale, not a battle royale, but it's a 3-player multiplayer roguelike version of Elden Ring.
Yes, and it has the battle royale mechanic where there's the circle that is moving around and shrinking to force you to go against bosses.
Yeah, so you play against the environment. I don't know if you play against other people at all.
No, I think it's completely just a co-op game, and you are playing against the environment. At least that's what it seemed like from what I watched, and that made it way more appealing to me because I do not have the time to get good against the people who play all day long. Yeah. And this seems like the kind of game where people are going to play all day long.
I wouldn't mind a little bit of a PvP element, but it makes me a lot more interested in Elden Ring because it is a small game. You only play for an hour at a time. Mm-hmm. It seems a lot easier to jump in with a couple guys. You just jump in and jump out. It reminds me a lot of this game that I like called Naraka Blade Point. Not a lot of people play it.
I haven't played it.
It is a battle royale like fighting game, and it's third person. And it looks very similar to what this was, except that's PvP. You don't fight NPCs or anything. But that has a grappling hook too. And it has like the runes that you pick up, and you like build out your like kit of like swords and stuff. So and I like that game a lot, but not a lot of people play that game. But I'm excited to try the Elden Ring version of that.
Same. So you also have different classes that you can play as. So there's like a shield guy, there's a bow guy, there's a sword guy. But
it seems like you're gonna want to coordinate with the other people and pick, because there was in my play session, there was a bow guy. Mm-hmm. And at the last boss, it seemed like you kind of needed a bow guy because there were things that shot up and you needed to destroy all of the things. And some of them were really high up, so you needed to use a ranged weapon. So imagine if everybody's just a sword guy.
Right.
Yeah.
This confirms to me that what we saw was the exact same thing. Yeah. And was like, because the guys were the announcer guys were really hyping it up, and they're like, "We've never seen this before. Oh my god, I can't believe this boss just showed up."
They did also say they've never seen this before,
right? And so, I absolutely think that we just saw the same thing, and that's fine. You want to present things the best way, and I know there's that roguelike or roguelite element to it where you never know what you're going to get, but they are obviously just running the same seed over and over and over again. And the guy that was controlling the bow guy. I think he was the Elden Ring influencer, not you, the other guy.
Yes, the real Elden Ring.
The real Elden Ring influencer.
I mean, it comes out later this month, I think. So
yeah, I think on the 30th. And
it's also gonna be on the Switch too. That was the only confirmed Switch 2 game that was at the event.
Right, because Nintendo was not there.
Nintendo was not there, and there's no other Switch 2 games.
Well, I thought that there was a different Elden Ring game that was coming to Switch 2.
So there's a FromSoft game that they're making specifically for the Switch 2.
Okay.
But they also have Elden Ring coming to the Switch 2.
Right, but also Elden Ring Nightreign?
That I don't have my phone, but I'm almost positive it's Elden Ring Nightreign that is going to be on the Switch 2. I hope I'm right about that because I mean, you know what? I'm not playing it on that. I'm playing it on fucking PC.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Pretty much every multi-platform game I'm going to want to play it on PC.
Yeah, but mouse mode, Bob.
Yeah, mouse mode on my PC.
I mean, I'm probably going to be playing it on my PC too, but it depends on how well it runs on the Switch. I will say the thing.
I mean, it's not going to run better than my 4070 Super.
Yeah, I know, but you might want to sit there and do a little like that. Although you never play handheld, do you?
Not really. I mean, I like the option, but again, we got so many PC handhelds. Like
we do.
I'd probably rather play. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a Switch 2, but I'd probably rather play most of these multi-platform games on something that has a little more power, if available. And I'm lucky enough to have that stuff already. I wouldn't recommend somebody get like an Ally X over a Switch 2.
No, well,
but
depends on what games you like.
Yeah, and like if you really care about getting like 5 more frames out of your games.
No, I wouldn't say that anything to do with power. I would just say you might want that device over a Switch 2 because you aren't interested in Nintendo games.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And all of the games that are on the Switch, except for the Switch 2, except for the Nintendo games, they're all going to be on PC anyway.
I'm really hyped for the Switch 2 because I like Nintendo games.
Me too.
But also, I think the hardware is going to be really cool. It's like Apple making a smartphone. Like, when that happened, I was like, this is going to be the best smartphone. Because they know how to design something. And Nintendo knows how to design a handheld. But I like having the versatility now of having my games on my PC as well. So
yeah.
I just like the Steam ecosystem more than the eShop ecosystem,
Same.
So that's where I see myself playing my games in a few months, but I've been wrong before. So maybe, who knows?
Yeah, nobody knows. We'll find out soon. Like, it's actually not even a few months. It's next month.
Yeah.
It's the June 5th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy month.
I can't wait. All right. Any other games that you saw, but while I'm looking at my list?
We both saw the Junkfood controller.
I'm sold on that thing. That thing is really cool. I mean,
I got mine coming in a few weeks.
You do?
They tried to give me one, and I was like, well, I already pre-ordered it, and I'd rather review a retail unit. So don't do anything special for me.
Yeah, they are expensive though.
They are.
Yeah, like
I think I got the cheap one because there's 2. There's one that works for every console, and then there's one that only works for PC and Switch.
Oh.
And that's because that one works on some open source firmware that I have in this thing right here. It's the same. It's the same, like basically the same firmware.
That's your Legion Go
Clam. My Lenovo Legion Clam.
Go watch the video right now, everybody.
So, this looks similar to their Snackbox Micro, except for that. Because it's like, I basically ripped this from the Snackbox Micro. And then now they have a new controller called the Sworl or something.
That's the one I'm excited for, but that's $245.
Is that the cheap one or the more expensive one?
You know what? I'm not sure. I thought that was the more expensive. Like I was told,
it might be the cheap one.
$245 would be the cheap one.
It might be the cheap one.
Ooh,
so
boy,
this one's cool because it's just like the one I just showed you, but it has 2 thumbsticks on the bottom. Mm-hmm. So you can play Elden Ring with it. They had an Elden Ring.
That's the one I played.
Yeah.
Thumb balls.
That was the first time I ever played Elden Ring. I went to their booth and I was like, in 45 minutes, I got to go play Elden Ring in front of the big screen. So I better get my reps in now.
Did you get killed fast?
Oh, I got killed pretty fast. Also because I'm playing on a Sworl controller. I was like, can I borrow this and go play Nightreign with it?
Yeah.
And then I didn't play Nightreign. But anyway, so one of the reasons it's so expensive is because they like to just pretend like things are expensive. But so there's open source firmware and open source stuff where you can basically make make your own controller for PC, because PC's it's X input and everything works on PC. And for some reason, this firmware works on Nintendo Switch. I don't know how Nintendo allows it or why. It actually gets registered as a Pokken controller. The Wii U Pokken.
The fighting game?
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why that's like the workaround, but it works. So I have a bunch of controllers that run on this firmware that either I made or I purchased that all work on PC and Switch, and that's all I need. If you want that shit to work on PlayStation and Xbox, it used to work on Xbox, but Xbox removed the functionality for it like 2 years ago.
Where you got to pay, they have to pay licensing, right?
Yes, and there's a chip called the Brook, which is what a lot of fighting game controllers run on, and that chip is like a lot of money. It's like $100 just for the chip. Oh. So a lot of controllers that are for PlayStation are $100 more just because of some proprietary bullshit.
That's funny. So we're running around, my wife and I today, and we brought my son and his friend, and they were on the show floor watching some. They were watching a Power Stone 2 tournament, right? And then I
didn't know they were doing a tournament.
Right? Yeah,
They do all these tournaments here for retro games, and I always forget. One year I went to PAX South, which they don't have anymore. It was the worst PAX. Okay. But I did a Sonic Mania tournament. That fucking ruled.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you use a leverless controller?
No, I didn't even use them at the time. Oh, okay. I made it pretty far in the tournament. There was like nobody doing the tournament. I made it like second or third place. But out of? Probably like 20 people. Oh, okay. but there was one game I played with somebody, and we tied. And we were like, how do you tie in Sonic Mania? Yeah, it's basically racing. So I don't know how we tied.
Like, because when you get to the end, it's like 24 point and then 3 numbers.
There's a video on it if you dig deep enough, but I don't remember what happened. I don't remember if maybe we both died, maybe maybe we both made it at the last. I don't remember, but the game ended and we were like, what happens now? We tied. What do we do? We were like calling a tournament organizer over, like, what do we do? And then the game went, okay, now you play Puyo Puyo Tetris. That's the tiebreaker. And it throws you into Puyo Puyo. There's a secret Puyo Puyo Tetris inside of Sonic Mania just for the tiebreaker of the multiplayer.
That's the craziest
Puyo Puyo came up and we're like, oh shit, we picked up the controllers and we did that. And I don't remember if that's when I lost or not.
I love Puyo Puyo Tetris. That's a really fun game.
So anyway, you were seeing a Power Stone tournament.
Well, I wasn't. My son was. And then the camera pans to my son's friend. And this guy walks up behind him and hands him a leverless controller, not the Sworl or whatever it's called, but like this other one. And it on the side it says for PlayStation and PC. And he's like, oh, thanks so much. And then he's asking me about it. He's like, is this going to work on an Xbox? Nope. And I go, I don't think so, buddy. Why? He goes,
it used to be if you switch it to the PC one, it should work, but no, not anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there you go, buddy. Sorry.
Some of these controllers, in order to switch them to the different consoles, you got to do some magic. You got to do you got to put like a code in or something. Some of them have a little switch, but
there you have it. Yeah. All right. Let me see if there's anything else that I saw when I was at the show. Oh, did you see Missile Command?
I saw it in the front.
Delta?
I saw it briefly, but I don't know anything about it.
So they had You are not nearly as old as I am. You're a young man.
Yes. But I know Missile Command.
Okay, that's my question.
I've been to arcades.
Okay. So for anybody who's watching that's never played Missile Command, the old Missile Command games, you have like these cities at the bottom filled with missiles. Things are coming at you and you have to shoot these things as they come at you. It's fast and it's frenetic and you shoot, there's a big explosion, and if the things that are coming at your cities hit that explosion, they're removed and you win. But if you don't go fast enough, you start to lose your cities and then eventually you run out of cities and it's game over. This is a turn-based version of that. And I was very skeptical, but it's actually really cool. So,
are you playing against the computer?
You are playing against the computer, although I don't know if they mentioned anything about multiplayer. I don't think I asked. Okay. But you got your cities along the bottom, And now, in order to make it more complex, they've added just different ammo types. Certain missiles can have bigger explosions. Certain missiles can travel further. And you have like this hex grid. And so it'll say, this is the city you're shooting from, select your ammo. And like you can see the bombs that are coming at your cities from up above. So you look off on the side, you select whatever ammo that it is that you think best fits the situation. You aim it, and then it shows where it's going to blow up. And then you're like, yeah, I like that. I'm going to lock that in. You press Y, it fires it. The thing moves down. If you did it right, then it's destroyed. And then you have to do the whole thing again. And it's like this very chill, just, oh, I'm going to get rid of that. It's like, you know the feeling you get when you're playing a Tetris game and you're just kind of rotating the pieces and they're landing in the exact same, the exact right place, and you're like, I'm just kicking ass on this. This felt like that, but turn-based instead. And I really was surprised because Atari isn't really Atari anymore.
Yeah, is this is developed by Atari?
Yeah, but I mean, Atari isn't Atari. Yeah. It's like some company bought Atari years ago, and that's why
they've had a lot of crap.
They have had a ridiculous amount of crap, yes. But this looked pretty cool. Yeah.
I wish they would do better things with the IPs that they have. Or at least more creative things like this, like what you're explaining.
Yeah, this is definitely creative. And like they did something recently with Yar's Revenge as well, which I didn't play the new thing, but Yar's Revenge I played the shit out of when I was a little kid. Although I don't know if it's actually a good game. Like there might just be nostalgia there. But
I don't know what that game is.
Oh, so if you've not, okay. This is a really weird game. You play as a fly in space, okay? And then there's like this thing that's shooting at you with a big wall of energy in front of it, and you have to run up to that energy field and like chew at it with your fly face until you've eaten a hole in front of it, and then every once in a while this missile comes and shoots at you, and so you have to bait it into shooting at you and then get out of the way so it hits the other thing.
Is this is this like the opposite of Galaga? Is this like you're playing as the bad guy in Galaga?
Well, no, because Galaga's that's Space Invaders.
No, that's Space Invaders. Galaga, you like shoot at flies and stuff.
I don't think it's the opposite of it. It's, I don't know. It's a weird game.
Okay.
And I played it a lot when I was a kid because I had an Atari 2600 and I didn't have anything else. So I played a lot of that and Keystone Capers.
Every time I experience an Atari game from that generation, it's horrible.
Well, there's two.
Also, I started with an NES.
Yeah.
And even playing those games, like there's like maybe like 5 that I would say are like good.
Name one. One good
Mario.
One. Okay, that's easy.
Mario.
Let's
Ninja Gaiden 2.
Okay, Ninja Gaiden. Why 2 and not 1?
I didn't play much of 1.
Oh, that's fair enough. I played the shit out of 1, never played 2.
I mean, it's really hard. Those games are like impossible,
very
but at least it's like a decent game.
It is.
Mega Man 1 is a bad game.
Yes.
Mega Man 2 and 3, much better.
I told myself, because I missed out on the Mega Man games, and the reason why is because whenever I played him, I don't like the way he jumps.
Yeah.
He feels really heavy.
Yep.
And I started with Mario, and I have said this a billion times. I always felt like if Mega Man was your first before Mario, then you like the way Mega Man moves, and you don't like the way Mario moves. Mario's too floaty for you. But the other way, if you played Mario first, then Mega Man, he's too heavy. And
what about Mega Man X?
I mean, those are so different than the other ones. I don't know really how. Like, it's 2 different generations, I think.
Yeah.
And I never really played Mega Man X until well after, when I was an adult.
Yeah. I think there's just in the Atari and the NES generations, there's just a lot of little details that nobody ironed out yet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That I think are just really rough to get through.
Right. Yeah. They was just like, well, who cares? These are kids playing. We'll just ship it.
And
kids
then the
don't know
SNES and the Genesis, they ironed it out. And then after that, they went 3D and we were back to square one. Nobody knew how to make a game.
Right.
Again.
Exactly. especially figuring out 3D cameras and stuff until
and
Mario
controls
64.
And how to, now you need a a whole other axis of movement. How do we control that? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other games that you played?
I'm definitely forgetting one.
Are you? Okay.
But I can't think of it right now.
I played a game called Bogdan's Cross.
Okay.
Did you check that out?
No.
Oh, did you check out the one that I told you about last night? That was no? Okay.
I don't remember what you told me about.
I don't remember what it is either. Anyway, Bogdan's Cross, you play as a anthropomorphic teddy bear.
Okay.
Okay. In the 1300s.
All right.
And you are a Knight Templar who has like this weird, you got like a belief meter on the bottom of your on the bottom of your screen. And it's like a side scroller. Well, at first I thought it was just a side scroller, but you can also move into and out of the screen. Like you can move this way towards the player and away from the player.
Okay.
So like at first I hit like there's a freaking patch of grass in front of me and it's like press X. I'm swinging my sword like crazy and nothing's happening. I'm like, I'm not hitting it. Nothing's happening. And then the guy comes over and you push down. And I walked around the grass. And I was like, oh, okay, it's not a 2D game, but it looks like a 2D game. And it's very strange.
That is weird, yeah.
It is very strange. But then you have this belief meter. And if you do good things, your faith will go up. And if you do bad things, your doubt will go up. And so you have like these conflicting, the guy described it almost like Mass Effect when you would do bad things. Shepard?
Yeah, Commander Shepard.
Yeah, Commander Shepard. Thank you. Shepard would start to be like evil looking and stuff, and if you did good things, he looked nice or whatever. Right. He said it was kind of like that. I really liked the art style. I couldn't quite tell, but it felt like it was stop motion.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but not as stop motion as what's the Xbox game that just came out?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, not as stop motion as that. It just had like a stop motion flavor to it.
Was the frame rate just shitty?
That I don't know.
Or was it purposely animated like
that? It
that?
felt like it was on purpose that way, but I'm not 100% sure. That was called Bogdan's Cross. Looked cool, and only played a little bit, but enjoyed it.
Is this one you had an appointment for, or did you just find
No, you know what? I did not make appointments at all until I got 2 packs, and then there, like some people were like, oh yeah, let's make it. Let's figure out when you can come in.
I didn't walk around like at all.
You didn't?
To like just see what was on the floor. I missed all that.
So I didn't know. Like anybody who's not a content creator isn't going to give a shit about this part, but I'm like, just bear with me for a second. All of the emails that I got were for games. I looked at them. I'm like, I don't care about this game. It's not interesting. And then I was like you said, you did the Pac-Man thing.
Well, I didn't have an appointment for. The guy just found me.
Right. Okay. So it was like, is there like a place where you can go and make these appointments, or is it you just got to wait until somebody emails you?
You got to wait until somebody emails you.
And it's hard to get
Elden
through
Ring,
all that stuff.
I went to the desk. They have like
that's what I
desk.
did too. Yeah.
But that's the only. Usually, only like the AAA ones have like a little desk.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, the Namco guy. I was just standing, and he just came up to me, and then I talked to him for like a long time, and then he tried to offer me a shirt, and I said, no, I don't need any shirts. I got too many shirts, and then I was like, wait, actually, I didn't pack a shirt for tomorrow, so can I have the shirt? So I took the shirt, and then we were just standing around. I was supposed to be doing a signing, but nobody was there, and then he was like, I got the game in my backpack if you want to try it, and I was like,
what was he playing it on?
A Switch.
A Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a Switch game. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it coming to other platforms at all? How much can you say about it? Because I know it was.
He only told me public information. So
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's coming to everything.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not Switch exclusive.
What'd you think of it?
It was awesome. I mean, I played a lot of Metroidvanias. Most indie games now are Metroidvanias, and it's just a Metroidvania. I don't want to like gas it up too much, but it's a Metroidvania that is. It's got Pac-Man lore, and it's official from Namco.
Right.
So like that's kind of cool. That light died, and this camera's about to die. What was I gonna say? There was one enemy that was. This is a little bit of a spoiler, I guess, but the enemy was just a Dig Dug character.
Okay.
And the way that you kill him is you punch him and then you pump him up and he explodes. So
basically you use his own powers against him.
So I think that there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be like a Namco cinematic universe of like dark Namco characters.
That sounds freaking cool.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, tell everybody where they can find all your stuff because your camera's about to die.
So we got to wrap it up.
Another light just died.
YouTube.com/Wolfden. Everything's coming down around us.
All right, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, Ryan. Bye.
Bye. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the NerdNest podcast. Next episode is our 100th episode. I know that people often expect like some kind of huge commemoration. I'm probably just going to keep doing the same thing that I always do because the number of episodes isn't super important. But I just have to say that after doing this podcast by myself for years and years and years, and then bringing on the guys, I've had so much fun in these last 100 episodes. Way more fun than I ever had doing it on my own. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everybody who checks out the show. A huge thank you to Russ and Carrie and Rich and anybody else that has been on, like Gardner and Jimmy and Bob. And I should probably stop listing people because I'm sure that I'm going to leave somebody out. But anyway, there you have it. Episode 99 of the NerdNest podcast is in the can. That's all she wrote. Stay right, everybody.